Hello everyone. This is the BSc second year semester third. The unit number three. Here the point, the next point, that is the respiratory organs in pigeons. So we can say that respiratory organs in Colombia lives the uh, the intense activity of flight depend large supply of oxygen as the respiratory system of bird is more complicated. Therefore, the respiratory is pulmonary and the respiratory organs are really simple. It includes the respiratory tract, respiratory organs, and air sac. The first of all, we see in discuss the respiratory tract. The respiratory tracts, it include the nostril, nasal sac, glottis, larynx, and last one, that is the trachea. And then last one, that is the syrinx. The nostrils, here show the, that is also called as, first that is the nostrils. The most nostril or external nares are the pair of slit-like oblique opening at the base of the upper beak, overloaded by a swollen sensitive pad of skin. The operculum, the nostril lead into the short olfactory. Nostril that is lead, the nostril that is lead into the short olfactory or nasal sac, which open directly into the pharynx. Which open directly into the, you can say that, the pharynx. Okay. The trachea. This is the trachea. Trachea, a medium slit opening the glottis. This open into the glottis, situated just behind the roof of the tongue. Lid, that is the wide pipe or trachea. Its anterior end, the trachea has expand voiceless chamber, that is the also called as larynx. This is the anterior end, voiceless larynx. It is supported a cricoid cartilage composed of four pieces and four paired arytenoid cartilage. But the thyroid cartilage and the vocal cord, thyroid cartilage and the vocal cord are absent, so that the larynx does not produce the sound. Larynx sound produce करत नाही because here the absent of the vocal cord and thyroid cartilage. इथं thyroid cartilage आणि vocal cord absent असल्यामुळे larynx काय not produce the sound. Larynx. Okay. Then trachea is a long. Trachea कसा आहे, long आहे, cylindrical आहे, flexible आहे तो, running back through the neck, ventral to the esophagus. Ventral मध्ये तो esophagus बनता है. But it is displaced to the left in the middle region by crop. On entering the thoracic cavity, a thoracic cavity मध्ये entering will it expand into the syrinx. It expand, हे syrinx जे आहे, syrinx primarily expand झाली. Then bifurcate into two short bronchia, one of each. इकडे एक bronchia, इकडे bifurcate झाला एक bronchia, bronchus, I bronchus. Okay. The trachea and bronchus tube are supported by a series of closely set rings. All the trachea rings and the first bronchial rings are completed at bony. Completed होते bone मध्ये. Okay. And the rest of the bronchial rings are incomplete majorly and cartilaginous. Then syrinx. This is the syrinx. Okay. at the posterior end of the trachea. Trachea at the posterior end म्हणजे इथं at the junction with the bronchia. या bronchus सोबत junction होते. हे bronchus junction found special structures known as wise box. याला काय म्हटलं ते wise box. त्याला म्हटलं ते or called as syringe. They concern with sound producing wise boxes may produce the sound. Syringe consists of expanded chamber called as tampernum. The expanded chamber असते त्याला tampernum म्हटलं जाते. The wall of which are supported to the last 3 or 4 rings trachea and the first half ring of each bronchus at the junction of bronchi ridges. The patios extend dorsoventrally. It supports small vibratory, or we can say the similar membrane, that mucous membrane of each of the bronchus. Mucous membrane each of the bronchus. The bronchus form internal diaphragm membranes associated with the inner wall as well as external membrane associated with the outer wall. These membranes are control and regulate the pair of syringeal muscles. ये membrane इसे control आणि regulate करते intrinsic syringeal muscle. Sound production, we can say that here vibration of the tympaniform membrane as the air expand from the lung. लंग पासून जेव्हा एअर इथं राईट अँड लेफ्ट एक्सपांड होते and that time during happen the expiration, the passes between them, which is device is altered by change in the tension of these membrane controlled by the syringe. That is the sternotracheal muscles. The semilunar membrane may supplement the vibration of the tympaniform membrane, that may be also responsible or useful for the production of sound. Then next, there is the lung. Left lung, right lung. They do not hang freely. In thoracic cavity, but closely applied by their dorsal surface to thoracic vertebra and the ribs. Dorsally, they have no peritoneal covering. The ventral surface is free. Ventral surface कसा free आहे by thick sheath fibrous tissue. The pleura, or we can say that the pulmonary aponeuris, a special development of peritoneum. Two lungs of pigeons are rather solid. दोन्ही lung कसे आहेत solid आहेत, spongy structure आहेत. Antroventral end of each lung is featured by a bronchus. We can say the primary bronchus with loose cartilaginous ring reach up to its distal or posterior end and become the mesobranch. It branch into air sac and also give off secondary bronchi, which may be distinguished, that is the dorsal, ventral and lateral. Dorsal, ventral and lateral is distributed in their position. Okay, the secondary bronchi and branch again into the tertiary bronchi. They give rise to the instrict system of rami forms. Okay, this is all about the lung. Then next part, let me can say that is all about the respiratory lungs. Let's see in details. There is the respiratory lungs, tract, strings. Okay, and then now we discuss the last aspect from the respiratory organs of pigeons. Here the air sac. The major of the air sacs pigeons are as follows. First of the intracellular, then cervical, then anterior, then posterior, and then abdominal. The sac are present around the air sac are present around the lung and connected with the end of the main bronchial branches These are the remarkable large thin wall membrane. ओके म्हणजे हे लॉंगला एक कवरिंग आहे मेन रिमार्केबल लार्ज थिन वॉल मेम्ब्रेन आहे नॉन मस्क्युलर आहे पुन्हा ते नॉन मस्क्युलर आहे दे आर फॉर्म्ड बाय द dilation of mucous membrane of bronchus. Their total volume is several times than that of the lung and they fill of much of the body cavity. Okay, they show the various structure. Then the intraclavicular structure. It is a single medial, somewhat triangular air sac. Single intracavicular, that is single medial, somewhat triangular air sac connected with the both lungs. दोन्ही lungs connected. It is situated angle between the two limbs of trochlea. Cervical, a pair of small cervical sac internally one from each lung. They lie at the base of the neck. They give minor saccular in the neck. Okay. The anterior thoracic, a pair of anterior thoracic air sac live ventral to the lung in the anterior part of the chest in close contact with the ribs and pericardium. Then posterior, there is a pair of small posterior thoracic air sac is found in the posterior part. That is that of the thoracic cavity just in front of the abdominal air sac. Its sacs overlap the posterior end of its lung and communicate outer posterior angle. That is the last one. That is the abdominal. A large posterior or abdominal air sac arises from the outer posterior angle of each lung. They lie along the dorsal wall of the abdominal, ventral to the kidney among the coil of the small intestine. Then is all about the air sac. Then functions of air sac. The first they show the lightness. Probably it acts as a balloon to provide uh, lightness to the body. Okay. Then flightness. Their association with the flight is also confirmed by the fact that the best flies among the bird possess the most high developing air sac. Then accessory respiratory organs means here the sac function principally as the accessory breathing organ. Their smooth lining is devoid of capillary and does not take part in the gaseous exchange, but they serve as reservoir and take part in the movement of air air during respiration. Temperature regulation again. They may also aid as cooling device in the regulation of temperature of the body, thereby uh, compensating for lack of sweat gland. It also occur internal perspiration. Then cardiac movements, according to Muller, air sac appear as to allow for the movement of heart in otherwise very rigid thorax. In balancing, air sac arranged nicely on the two sides of the body so that the proper center of gravity is maintained for the flight. Then air sac help in forceful exclusion of air and then control the pitch of sound, thus acts as a resonators. Okay, these are the features, these are the functions of air sac. This is the all about the respiratory organs of pigeons. Then a respiratory mechanism. The breathing in the birds has many capabilities. The lung, though relatively small and non-distinguishable, have large distinct surface of gaseous exchange. That is the expiration means it is an active process, not inspiration. As in other vertebrates, the breathing mechanism is like that the suction pump and differs at a rate of the during flight ventilation. Okay, so first of all, ventilation at rest. याच्यामध्ये काय होते की व्हेन बर्ड इज रेस्टिंग, जेव्हा बर्ड जेव्हा रेस्ट करते, at that time the sternum rises and fall alternately. Sternum काय होते, rises and falling होती alternately. By this activity of abdominal and intercostal muscle during inspiration, the sternum is low. Sternum कसा होते, low होऊन जाते. At that time the air sac expand. Air sac काय होते, expand होते, and the lungs are composed as a result of fresh. The result त्यावेळेस काय होते की फ्रेश जी एअर मूव होते थ्रू दी nostril, trachea and nasobronchus into the posterior air sac. At that same time, the air already present in the lung move to the anterior air sac. During expiration, the sternum is raised, the air sac compressed, and the lung expand. At that time, the air high in oxygen content move from posterior air sac into the lung, and the still the stored होते air of anterior sac move into the vasobronchus. The trachea then out through the nostril. Then next there is the ventilation during flight. During flight जेव्हा flight होती तेव्हा sternum काय होते is rendered immovable होते, move होते ते. The air goes in and out the lung. At that time काय होते air move होते, आते ते जाते त्या टाइमला. By the elevation and depression of the back, synchronous with stroke of the wings, the faster of the birds flies is the more rapid in an air circulation and gaseous exchange in the lung. म्हणजे फास्टर होते त्याचं फ्लाइट, फास्टर ते बर्ड काय होते फ्लाय करते इन द एअर सर्क्युलेशन अँड गॅसेस जी एक्सचेंज होते ते त्याच्यामध्ये लंग. ओके. Then efficiency of avian lungs is a mechanism and efficiency. म्हणजे efficiency काय, क्षमता काय, ताकद काय avian lungs ची. तर presence of anastomosis and intercommunicating air capillary in an avian lung, accompanied by the presence of air sac, bring about these several advantages are as discussed now. There is a one-way flow of air through the air capillaries. One way असते air flow. The direction of air in lung counter to that of the blood flow. Okay. The inspired air rushes through the lung into the air sac. Hence, it is a pneumatic cavity of the bone. The avian lung is completely empty at the each breath. Okay. Moreover, the air lung renewed twice at every breath, once during the inspiration and again during the expiration. Air does not travel back during the expiration at the same route by which enter into the inspiration. Most air reach the air sac directly through the secondary bronchi, but from air sac it goes back into the lung through the separate duct called as the recurrent bronchi. The respiratory rate of the bird is also very high. In pigeon, it is 29 times per minute at rest. 29 times per minute at rest. And the air passes over the respiratory epithelium rapidly, and several times of the aeration of blood is very complete in the birds, and the body temperature is relatively higher than the other birds. Their body temperature varies. That is the 40.5 degree Celsius to at high to 46 degree Celsius. This explains how the small and non-elastic avian lung function more efficient than those of the other vertebrates. Birds have the highest oxygen requirement of all animals because their active mode of the and high metabolic rate is all about the uh, organs of respiratory, the mechanism of respiration, and then efficiency of avian lungs. Thank you. everyone.